Soren in Romania writes to me, "Hey Paul, does one big bass driver sound better than two or three bass drivers in one speaker? Is it just me or is it a fact? I tried different types of speakers of different brands and budgets, Klipsch and JBL for example, but there are so many others. Does size matter in this case? I'm not talking about speaker placement, room size, crossover topology, room treatment, and so on. The listening conditions remain the same. It's just that the sound is somewhat better with the bigger bass woofer. It sounds more lively, more enjoyable." Well, that's an age-old question that we've tackled a few times. There are pros and cons to all of it. Generally speaking, if you have the same designer, I would say that smaller woofers are almost always going to sound better than one bigger woofer because they can move quicker, they have less mass, but they are more difficult to integrate properly. It's just a whole bunch of different factors. So Chris Brunhaver right now, our speaker guru, is working on a new set of speakers. These are subwoofers, and eventually PS Audio will be making subwoofers. How could we not? We love subwoofers. And he's got a massive 18-inch subwoofer that we're going to probably put 2,500, 4,000 watts into it, and it's going to be terrific. And he also has a 12-inch. And one could say that the 12-inch, which is obviously smaller than the 18-inch, is going to be faster and quicker, which it will, but a single 12 will never go down and have as much woomph as a single 18. So in that instance, the smaller woofer loses. But what happens if you compare that to, well, I'm not very good at this, whether it takes 2 or 3 12-inches to make an 18. Chris could tell it just like that, but let's imagine it's 2 12-inch woofers equals an 18. I think in that case, your 2 12-inch drivers are going to outperform the larger 18-inch depending on the frequency, right? Because at certain low frequencies, I don't think it really matters, except for overhang, which is when a woofer moves out and then it tries to come back, but inertia keeps it out here. You have this added energy that shouldn't be there. That's always going to be less with smaller woofers. But in general, I think you just have to listen to what works. And if that's working for you, then I think that's great. And I don't know that there's a universal rule or law about which one is better. I think it all depends on the design, on the frequencies you're using, the goals, all that kind of good stuff. Okay? Probably not as complete an answer because you'd like me just to say, but can't go there. Okay.